Yes, it does. Hey, everybody. It's your boy Tatharis again. We're going to do some more Diablo 4 with Zae. More Warlock Endgame for me. She is running a Paladin currently. And our goal for today is we're probably going to do some Infernal Hordes. She's looking for a Ancestral Sundered Might. Something like that. I think there's a Horadric Cube recipe where she can turn it from a two-handed weapon into a ring or an amulet or something, which lets her then go sword and board for better defense. I don't know. We got a plan. Anyway, we're going to do that. Other random end game stuff, and we'll see where we go from there. Hello, hello. I see you've
Hello,
unmuted.
hello. Yes, I have.
I have as well. Huzzah.
Oh, let's see real quick here. I was just doing my short little intro and um and yes, as I know game, you are saying things on game. And guess what? I messed up in my game. I did not double check that my scene was capturing my game.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, it's my fault.
It's
I'm
fine.
still getting used to things.
Same.
Let's see. There we go.
Okay.
Huzzah! Um,
Huzzah!
I know. I was just saying real quick in the stream that we are hunting on specific items that I had switched over to a
Yes.
Paladin build to help out with keeping us alive, considering that we're heading towards the higher tiers in the end game. Actually, right now we're tier 8 or Torment 8, Torment 9?
We have unlocked up to Torment 10. We only torments we haven't unlocked are the 2 prestige tiers that just give you more XP. So we are well and truly into the end game.
Good. I'm still hunting out specific items for this Paladin build. Um, so let me. I'm being transferred to you. Yes.
Question.
Ah,
Do you want to try the first Infernal Horde on 9 or go with full audded 10?
let's go at 9. And that is solely because of the fact that I still do not have. Um, sorry, give me 1 second here, real quick. I still do not have the specific item that I need to complete my build. I'm pretty much in my previous build of my Aradin, my Paladin Aura Paladin, and I'm kind of in a in between awkward point that I have the stats, I have the powers that I need, but I don't have everything that's needed for it to be a full working machine.
Fair. Well, I've got 25
So,
Infernal Horde compasses myself, so not like we can't afford to lose a couple for tests.
let me see real quick here. What am I doing? There we go. Let's see. I have 31.
Okay, we got plenty. So if you're ready, I'll kick one off.
Yes, I am actually ready.
I'm really happy they got rid of the crappier versions of the compass. They serve no purpose. The only good ones were the legendary version.
There's some things that, that they've done well in this expansion, and some of the things that I've kind of questioning sanity.
I think the monetization people in Blizzard need to fucking realize that Microsoft and Blizzard are not very popular right now. And cut the bullshit. The fact that 1/3 of every character is locked behind buying the expansion is fucking bullshit. That's something we learned afterwards. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're gonna play this game, you probably should get the expansions. However, I understand that
Right.
not everyone does that right away. So locking literally part of the every character behind the expansion is bullshit. And based on the way I've seen it from that video I saw, it's really clear this is marketing and the monetization team. This isn't the developers who designed it that way. And that's bullshit. You're supposed to make the game and offer items to provide profit. Yes. Like I think Marathon has been notably most people that really like it have said there's not a lot to spend on in the game even if you wanted to. Probably a problem since
Right.
their numbers are dwindling, but there's still plenty of people playing these games. There's plenty of
Right.
monetization in this game. You
By the
didn't
way,
have to make that an advertisement for the new expansion. You did a good job with it.
sure. By the way, this is your shit show.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go with masses because I can. How's that? Anyway, I still
I
like
know.
this expansion. They did a good job, but I keep learning the little things that, like, when we did our original ramble with Mal and Jaden, like, the game was fun at launch. Hell,
Yeah.
monetized to hell and back. Not that we spent any money on any of that stuff, but it was fun. The core of the game was fun. It needed some work. Some of the thoughts from, like, the idea that it would be a good idea to have to hunt down freaking Lilith statues and waypoints every season. That's a shit show. I'm glad they overturned that before the first season.
Yeah.
Because they wanted things that they could put in the game pass or the battle, whatever they call their battle pass.
Oh, I got killed.
Coming. It was right at the end. That's fine. So that's the biggest problem I've had with this game. I think in general has mostly been monetization, which hasn't affected me too much. But
Yeah, I'm. While some of the things are neat, while I would love to have that one pet cat,
yeah, not paying
um,
$20 for it or whatever crazy amount it
I am
is.
not paying $25 for a monetization cat, especially when I have cats at home that will scream at me, "Hey, you could have spent that on a toy on me."
Yeah, that's the problem. I know it's the executives who put forth all these mandates and whatnot. Um, but there's just the fact that, like, I think the monetization is pretty expensive in Path of Exile 2. At least, back when we played. But it was a free-to-play game. So, like, they need to make their money somehow, and free-to-plays tend to have more monetization in them.
Mm-hmm.
This is a full
That
box game with 2 full box expansions.
exactly.
And you also want to have the same price. Oh, they killed me. You
Yep.
still want to have the same price as they have in a. Here, I'll get you. In a in a free to play game. That's just unconscionable.
Gotcha. I think we're gonna have to lower the tier down a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Just because we're in wave 2 with only 43 aethers. And we need to get to 666. And I realize that's my fault because of the fact that I'm not there yet.
it's fine.
Um,
We're just
but I
dialing it
agree
in.
with you. PoE, I was willing to, when we were hardcore playing PoE, I was willing to give money to do the new pretties that they had every single season, for the cosmetics because of the fact of supporting the game.
The
And just
corollary
say,
of
hey,
the seasons we liked or leagues we liked.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you for clarifying that, but yes. That I did not mind because it's a free-to-play game and they were constantly supporting it. Supporting it correctly is questionable at certain times.
Yeah. I agree there.
But they were still supporting it and still providing content that was for free. So for me and my thought, okay, I'm getting enjoyment out of this. I'm spending time playing the game. I'm gonna give you some money. And let's be honest, at the time when we were hardcore playing it, we were mini whales.
Yeah.
We would not spend the big bucks like some other people might, but we were spending the money easily. But here, I'm paying what? I don't even remember how much the base expansion for this one was. For the
Oh,
Lord of
I'm pretty
Hatred, I
sure they
think
were
it
like
was
50, $60. The base game was 60, $70, or it'd be like 100 plus if you did the early
yeah,
access, which we absolutely refused. It's one of my general principles, is screw the early access. Although,
yeah,
I mean, if you're a content creator, that part, I get kind of their job, but it's scummy. I dislike it. It also makes them tons of money.
yeah.
They basically pulled out every monetization lever they possibly could in the game, which is pretty obnoxious.
Yeah, and it's just for me, okay, you're already making me spend this money and you're asking me to pay how much
So
for
corollary,
a cat cosmetic or all these other things? No.
about in the news, something that
Uh-oh.
you you should be aware of the idiocy. So I really am due for a ramble about Grand Theft Auto
Oh no. What happened
with
this time?
Jaden. Oh, nothing new. Just I want to talk about the its state in the world, how it's being treated as Jesus and feared by everybody to a ridiculous degree. They think it's going to do everything. This will tie part into the news. I want to chat with Jaden at that some point, and whoever else decides to join us for it.
Ow.
It's just a thing that's on my list bucket to do, and I should do it before it
Right.
launches. We just haven't done it yet. But in the news, Bank of America, I think it was, of all freaking someone who should just shut up to how evil they are, released an article or a financial suggestion. I don't know what the hell it's called, but they basically the TLDR is they basically said, yeah, Rockstar better up the ante and increase the base price to at least $80, $90 or something, because that's going to be good for the entire industry. And I'm like, y'all are so delusional and not reading the times. It's not freaking funny. We are in a
Yeah.
cost of living crisis right now. And honestly, indies have been knocking out of the park with much cheaper prices.
Mm-hmm.
Expedition 33 went gangbusters and I think the full price, it was 50, but it was like $10, $15 off at launch. I think. I know
Right.
they had a discount. I just can't remember what the exact discount slash price was. Plenty of games have been doing gangbusters, charging less. And especially with the current, I mean, with the war that's going on, gas prices are getting crazy, and we've only seen the basics of it. It's going to
Oh,
get way worse before it gets better. They're like, just with inflation, blah, 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 everything. It's expensive. And to expect that your shitty AAA game that's super buggy only works functional barely on a 4080 or 5090 or some crazy shit, and you're expecting that you're gonna somehow be able to pull Rockstar numbers, you're fucking crazy. Like, I'm sure Rockstar could get away with selling their game for $200, and instead of selling 3 billion copies in a year, they'll sell 1.5 billion copies or something crazy, right? Like, I mean,
Right.
I think it's going to do well, unless it's terrible. I don't think that's a question. Whether it makes back its like 3.7 billion estimated freaking cost to develop, no idea. But
Right.
I think it was, I don't know if it was, yes, I'm going to click on that one. Say, I don't know if it was Legendary Drops or Luke Stevens. I don't know. I've listened to an article. Someone was musing on this, and it's been percolating in my brain as well because it was a really good point. If you up the price of your game, and this has been a problem ever since the upgrade to like $70 that has kind of gone through for some AAAs, right? And the kind of push to 80, people's expectations go up. And do you
Oh
really
yeah.
think the the stereotypical, like, do you think, despite the fact that we like this expansion with some kavats on some minor criticisms, would you think this was a good expansion if they charged $90 for it base?
Oh no, I
I
would
always
not
think
play.
it's horseshit, right? Like, and I think that's what they're gonna blow back. So like, yeah, they're gonna raise the bar for everybody. No, motherfucker, they're gonna raise the bar for GTA 6 or 7, I guess, what it can potentially charge, and maybe 3 other games in the next 10 years, which people might feel okay paying that much for. Like, sorry, that was a little bit of a rant, but
Ooh,
I wanted to get my thoughts out.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, how's this? I'm gonna give kind of a. I would not know. Okay, I don't know if you would call it a counterpoint or not, or devil's advocate, whatever you want to call a
Are you going to
counterpoint.
defend them, Steelman it?
No,
Okay.
I think that due to. Sorry, I'm trying to think about how to word this properly so you don't jump down my throat. Um, I think because of inflation and changes in the times, that there is a change to pricing that is needed for the industry. Um, as far as how much is charged for games. What that price is, I don't know. But, with the technology increasing and making things, and wait till I finish my statement, because I know what your feelings are on this. We've talked about this before many times. How the improvements in the games, how much more in depth, and do I think there needs to be a pricing change? Yes, I think they're going about it wrong. Okay. I think they are not fully taking into account their audiences, fully taking into account the state of the times, and if they are not careful with any pricing changes that they do to their games, you're going to find the industry losing studios
Which is already happening.
over time. And like I said, do I think there needs to be, because of changing in the technology, changing on how much content is provided in a game? Let's take, for example, the new remakes of Final Fantasy VII. Those were great upgrades to what the game was before. For when it came out back in 1990, I don't even remember. When Final Fantasy came out, because it's been a while since I've played Final Fantasy the original, Final Fantasy VII the original. But they are going about it the wrong way, especially in this time where people are trying to wonder when's my next paycheck coming through, trying to wonder, you know, how am I gonna pay my next meal? You know, am I going to be able to pay for a game that I want to play, or should I just go after the indie developer games? And this is one of the reasons why they're flourishing. That are providing me content at a lower price that is still very entertaining, that I can spend hours in and still be able to afford what I need to do to be able to put food in my mouth.
Sorry, Zay, we're just short. We'll go down tier 8 after this. Continue.
Step forward.
I think that if they go with the whole, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and raise the prices so that the industry raises the prices as a whole, you're going to find people going, no, I'm not going to spend money on this game, even though I'm interested in the franchise or love the franchise, and not be able to eat or not be able to afford other franchises that I love.
I will submit your entire argument is I understand what you're saying, and it's already been happening. And AAA is on the verge of pretty much total collapse, at least the Western studios. They're also
yeah.
getting their lunch taken in by the rise of these Chinese and Korean companies. Crimson Desert's a great example. I want to do a long talk on that at some point. I've been on the sidelines. I'm going to play it eventually, but it's probably going to take a year before I'm going to feel like they've put enough updates into it for me to be able to tolerate it. Because, oh boy, it needed work on launch, in my opinion. But anyways, the key is that, and this is why Rockstar has like a 1,700 person studio in Philippines, Malaysia, India, one of those. I can't remember exactly because
Gotcha.
they can have a crap ton of people for way cheaper than they can, because for some reason 90% of the gaming industry thinks they need to be in fucking Silicon Valley, which is like the most expensive place to be in the country. Whereas then you have, I don't remember if it's Terraria or Sundered Valley. One of these small games that's been really popular in the indie scene. They're in Indiana. In like, I think Fort Wayne, Indiana is where the studio is. I just can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. But I better believe their cost of living is amazing. And I think actually I'm pretty sure it's Terraria. And they've made so much money that I'm pretty sure that the what, 5 people that are in the company, I don't know, it's small, right? They could fuck around for the rest of their lives just putting out small patches to Terraria, because their cost of living is fucking nothing. Whereas you have to pay, 6+ figures base just for your basic person in Silicon Valley, and that's like a poverty wages out there, right? You can't compete. Like, I can't remember the exact number, but the guys who do the dead, or the dead's not Dead Cells, fuck, Elden Ring and stuff. They raised the average salary from like 4,000 to like 5,000, the equivalent dollars or something, to their, it was ridiculous. I can't remember the number. It's an insultingly how cheap Japanese, or how little money Japanese developers get, is basically the takeaway from what I read. But it was like this minuscule instance. Like, well, when you think about like in Malaysia, Philippines, all of those areas, it's even less, right? Because and when you can pay people that dirt cheap, and you can unfortunately crunch them to death, as there's been a bunch of news stories coming out about Rockstar recently, and they're, again, Philippine, Malaysia, whatever the freaking, wherever the hell the studio is, like the complaints are coming on Glassdoor and stuff. Whether they're true or not, don't know, but I believe it. Like, they can just leverage way more they could just leverage way more people for way cheaper and make the game. Now, if they're an American company, I would submit they probably have a leadership team, and I don't mean like executive leadership. I mean like maybe like the head designers and whatnot are probably here, and they have some core team, and then they outsource. And by outsource, I mean they leverage those other studios that have good people that are just way cheaper to do
Right.
like the mass development. And this is a side tangent of the whole thing. I'm just saying, like, this is one way they could make their costs cheaper. They could also stop obsessing on reality or realistic graphics because they spend way too much money on that. Fuck.
That,
Does having
yes.
comparatively shitty graphics in oh my god, what was that? That's the drug dealing game from last year that we played. Schedule 1.
Oh, scheduled one?
Does the relatively bad graphics make that a bad game?
Oh, no, it's a
No.
fantastic game for what
Right.
it is.
From one dude. So I would submit that maybe if you went back to stylistic graphics, which are memorable instead of every freaking realistic game looking the fucking same, like there's another way you could cut some money and then you wouldn't have to charge $70-$80. Also, here's a thought. Maybe like has been proven by the stuff that's come out about Bethesda and their legions of people and it taking them 15 fucking years in between installments of their franchises. Maybe instead of having 900 people on the team and spending 500, 600, 800 million as Sony has fucking done or whatever on like Spider-Man 2. I don't remember how many people worked on it, but it was like 800 million or something crazy. Like just ridiculous money. Maybe instead of spending 500 million and 1,000 people, maybe you spend 100 million on like 5 different projects, smaller teams, more agile. Like,
Yeah.
and you could have your output would be, you wouldn't just have this one thing that's destined to fail. And it's the other thing. It's like there are people in the freaking gaming industry who are obsessed about following the failed trend of Hollywood. Hollywood's fucked. Nothing's making money in Hollywood outside of like some some big blockbusters, and those franchises are wobbling, and then small cheap like horror movies, which are also having problems now. So what basically Hollywood in general is failing in AAA, and the gaming industry, which is way bigger, is also failing in AAA. But indies aren't, because they're cheaper. They're more leaner on how many people they use to make it, so they can. It doesn't take them 6 months to decide that they need to change the chair to be blue colored. Basically, my thesis here is their choices have been why they're obsessing about and also being publicly traded. Like these are the things that are causing them to say, no, we need to charge more for games. You don't need to. You've had economies of scale. Everyone's focusing on China as the next place to sell games, which is another good place. And China's coming out with their games. These are good choices. But at the end of the day, you need to spend less on how much you fucking make these AAA games.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't need realistic graphics, quote unquote realistic graphics, to enjoy the game. See the outcry about what they did with the DLSS 5
Oh
demo.
God, yeah.
That thing. I mean, like, I agree with them. Like, because I haven't played that latest Resident Evil game, but this is your shit show, by the way.
I know. I've been working on it,
Yeah,
Brett.
I'm not touching it. But
Uh-huh.
I know enough about the story about the girl scaredy cat character. She has reasons to be traumatized, and the way she's designed, it all makes sense. It's traditional, old school, whatever. But like, when they showed the thing of, and DLSS 5 can make her look like a yes queen. Dude, she's a traumatized person who's been a shut-in. She's traumatized by watching her mother get killed or whatever. Why is she wandering around looking like she's trying to be a freaking model or something? She wouldn't be wearing makeup. You know what I mean? Like, DLS 5 realistic graphics made it worse. Additionally, I think most of the presentations they did made it worse. They also made them all look the same. Like, this isn't good. It's just not good for the industry. So the
Yeah.
minute they step away from this shit, it'll get better. But we've already been losing tons of studios. I mean, how many studios did Sony
Mm-hmm.
close because Jim Ryan is a jackass and wasted all of their fucking money from the last generation on bets into live services? That the only one that succeeded was the one that had no Sony oversight, Helldivers.
Yeah.
Marathon is not making its money back, or if it does, it's going to take a long time, and I don't know if Sony has the patience to actually give them said time. Their numbers are consistently going down. And to be fair, it's an extraction shooter. I don't know how the freaking industry convinced itself that extraction shooters are going to be the next freaking I don't know, add the next big thing. Extraction
Right.
shooters are a freaking niche game. Like, how many people do you know that in our circle that love going out there and losing all their shit every time they do a run? Like, it's just for a very specific crowd. So I don't know. I could ramble on all this shit for a while, but my summary is they're doing it. AAA is doing it to themselves. They don't need to charge more. Indies have proven you don't have to
You
charge more,
still
but you
believe
actually
in
have to
me?
do better with your budgets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think one of the things that should be standardized within the industry is maybe pay executives less.
Well, that's in
And we're talking
every
about the
industry.
he. And yes, that is in every industry. And I'm talking about make it situational. Okay, fine. What did you actually contribute to this particular project as a CEO of the company? How did the project do? If the project did not meet expectations, maybe you shouldn't be getting paid.
Executive compensation is out of control. The money man
Oh yeah.
being in charge of the arts. I mean, let me be fair. Artists are good at art. Few of them are good at being the money man. That I get. But I don't think Bobby Kotick can be considered a benefit to Blizzard. If anything, he's a cancer that has slowly degraded him. Is it all him? No, but he's an example of those money men, right? Like, I think staying small and more agile can be risky, but I think it's much more benefits to actually create a piece of art. Being publicly traded, I think being publicly traded is probably bad for every fucking company at this point, because our current late stage capitalism setup is pushing them to go to unearth. Like, oh no, you only made $50 million last year. That's terrible. You only made $5 trillion. You should have made $10 trillion. Like, come on, dude. Like, the line can't go up forever. That's not realistic.
Yeah, it's just. And the thing about it is one of the things, especially the studios that are stateside. Mind you, I can only account for stateside studios and companies because of the fact that I don't live overseas. Um, and this is a conversation I was having with Nose last night, and it's not related, but it is in a sense, and I'll explain how. We were watching a video on anime you have not seen, but that are completely addictive and great anime.
Mm-hmm.
And the person was talking about these different animes, and I don't remember the names of it. I have to look at the video. It was. And some of them were Chinese anime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, there have been some manga and anime in, and I know they're called differently in
Yeah, there's
manhwa and
another
man.
name for the Korean ones. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
Manhwa instead of manga,
Yes.
something like that.
Yes. Um, They have great work that they do, great stories. And this is transitioning also not only in the written form, but also in game form. So, if you take into account studios that are coming out from overseas, whether they are in China or in Japan or wherever they are, and they could potentially provide that entertainment, in which a lot of them have been for many years now, providing that entertainment for much cheaper pricing. Anything that is stateside, anything that is the big budget, the big three: Xbox Studios, Sony Studios, Nintendo, even really need to think about
Woo, Chaos Wave.
what is going
Sorry.
to be. Yes, I see the chaos. Um, what is going to be the end result? What is are they? Where are they gonna be in a few years? Because these other small studios are gonna catch up to them quick. Especially with the people who are paying the money, the big money for their games, having issues with the current economies.
Yeah. Well, it's a
Because if,
filling, greedy,
yeah, well,
prophecy,
because
right?
if you think about it, a lot of the people that are starting to come into work now is the younger generation, what Gen Z, and they are having problems finding jobs themselves,
Well, that's because
having problems being able to afford things. So where are they going to turn to for entertainment? Free games.
they already have Fortnites, the Roblox. They've been eating the lunch. AAA is surviving off of the 30, 40 somethings. Pokemon is surviving off the 30, 40 somethings. It's not the younger generations. The people who have the money right now.
Right.
So, as they die off or get older, age out, whatever you want to call it, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's another looming crisis for all of them. Like, collecting Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, early PlayStation, and Xbox, that's a thing right now. But it's because of it's mostly nostalgia, right? The people who
Mm-hmm.
grew up with them and the generations just after that inherited their older siblings' machine when they went to college or whatever. Like, these are the people. So again, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. These are the people who are making that collection market work. But, like, who's out? I mean, like, do you remember the height of Elvis obsession when we were younger? I bet you knew at
You know,
least a couple people who loved Elvis when you were younger.
I like you to understand one thing real
What's
quick
up?
as make that statement. Stop aging me.
It's me too.
I
One of
know.
my friends' mothers, as a kid, she loved Elvis. I'm just saying, you knew that
Okay.
person, but that person was older than us. Do you know
For
anyone really
okay.
our age who's obsessed about Elvis? Do you know anyone younger who's obsessed about Elvis? I would
No,
submit he's
but
falling off.
I'm sure that there are, because of the fact that there are certain artists that are long gone now that I'm obsessed with.
Sure.
Like, for example, Danny Kaye, the one of the funniest,
Okay.
most
And how
talented,
often are his
dancing,
specials
acting.
put on TV these days? This is
eh,
what I'm getting at, right? Like
I
Wizard of
know.
Oz, I remember being played every Halloween when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Is it still played every Halloween on every on some channel? I mean, I'm sure there's a
Probably
channel
there is.
specialized for Halloween content that probably does it, but what I'm saying is it's just like it's not the same. It's not as all it fades.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at. It's like, you know, like, okay, Resident Evil's still popular, cool. Will it be popular in 20 years? Only if another generation comes in and makes an amazing fucking game. Are
I'm on
people
the
going to care
mature.
about The Last of Us in 30 years? I don't know. But they're probably not going to be caring about these IPs that seem to be all they can do is remake right now, which is great, but I don't know that that's going to get them more money in the next 20, you know, keep them afloat, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's because of the fact that I was at one time working as a developer, not in the same part of the industry of coding. Um, I understand a little bit, very bare little bit of what's going on and what kind of goes on as far as. Hold on a second. Sure, why not? Um, I don't want these companies to go away, but I think there needs to be, and it might have to be something drastic like a big AAA studio to fold under to wake them up. Because I think honestly that is the only thing that's gonna wake them up.
I think it's happening. I think some of them are feeling the pressure. I mean, it's kind of interesting. So Xbox has been failing in public, while at the same time that Xbox was just stepping on every fucking rake, a la Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. Sony was just
Mm,
fucking up in the background, and like their latest decision, they've decided, oh nope, we got to pull away from putting our games on PC. This is
that's the
like,
dumbest thing ever.
but I kind of understand how they got to this conclusion as a we need to shore up this generation. We can't lose our base. Motherfucker, the base already left. The reason you're not making profit on every single one of these games is because you're releasing them a year later. If you want to make the money of putting it on every product, you have to do it at launch or near
I'm a,
launch. And they don't want to do
uh,
that. Okay, well, I'm sorry. The whole point of a console was that it was way cheaper than a PC. It was easy. You just plug and play, put it in your underneath your media or in your media station on your TV. You can chill on the couch. Very simple. But when the fucking Pro costs $900 fucking dollars, it's a
yeah.
PC price. It's in PC range.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not cheaper anymore. So like your whole point of being that simple cheap thing doesn't work anymore.
No, I don't think he gave me my axe.
We have plenty of these to
No, you
run.
brat. Let me see. Yeah, he gave me ancestral swords.
But you got ancestral
It,
items?
yeah,
Okay. Then
I got an ancestral Azure Wrath.
then the level is fine. That just means we need to keep doing it. I got 2 Hemat stones, neither of which are ancestral. Neither of which I give a fuck about. So it's
But
just it's the industry's in a bad place, is what I'm saying.
of course it is.
And they're both fucking up. And it's funny because like back to that, you know, I mentioned about like, you know, they
Back
need
to
to
it then.
Xbox is still making tons of money. They're making a lot less because of the fuck up with Game Pass. But
So is Sony, let's be honest. There
yeah,
was recently a report about the fact that Sony is killing it. I believe it's on the sales or killed it on the sales of the PlayStation. It's do I agree with it? I've played the PlayStation maybe twice since we got it.
Well, I mean,
And it was only for playing Final Fantasy because
yes,
I couldn't get anywhere else until we just recently were able to get a whole bunch of the Final Fantasy stuff on Steam.
but now they want to pull away from that.
And
Again,
you know what?
if they released it at launch or 6 months later, they could have charged near full price. 2 years
Yeah, and
later, I ain't
they're
paying
still
full price.
charging pretty full price. Um,
Yeah, but I'm not paying it.
no, and honestly,
Fucking
I'm
Veilguard.
not gonna.
Or no, sorry, not Veilguard. I haven't looked at Veilguard. Avowed. Um, is still like $60. Dude, that game died. It didn't do well. I know Obsidian didn't spend a ton of money on it, but like, it's not worth $60. Not on PC. Not like a year later or whatever it's been.
Yeah,
That shit should already be $30 and then down to like 20 on sale.
it's it's difficult. Like I was saying, knowing not directly, tangentially, what happens in the back end as far as when it comes to development, when it comes to the whole process of going through QA and having all these meetings and talks and having to do the whole development cycle. It is a shame what is happening, and a lot of people are not truly seeing within the industry themselves how frail it is.
I think the
And
regular workers
yet we
know.
have the big companies still going, oh no, we are this, we're gonna survive. Fucking Nintendo's one of them. Um,
Nintendo is like Disney, except they're much more successful than Disney now. They have cultivated an audience that is fanatical and puts up with their bullshit. They've been conditioned, no sales, fuck you. Like they just glug it down.
yeah.
But if they release another Wii U, it could kill the fucking company. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah. There there needs to be something that gives. And what the big three are not realizing that the something that gives is gonna end up being one of them.
Well, I mean,
You fight to live.
I think it's gonna. Well, I'd say it's gonna be all of them to an extent. I mean, if they can actually, if Nintendo can hire one person who actually understands the internet, this would be amazing. You know, their laughable online product for the Switch. Oh my god, we could go on and on about their just stuck in the old ways. If they can get someone to modernize them just a bit, they'll be fine.
Well, the thing about
Xbox,
it
I
is
don't think
that
is going to go anywhere. They're honestly, the best. They're the best positioned for the future. It's just Xbox's problem has always been, well, one, Don Matrick, fuck that guy, but they've always been trying. They've been right in the direction that they should go, but they've been a decade too
wrong
early.
many times though.
No, just
Okay, let's
because
not
of
forget
what
the past.
Don Matrick's, he's the poster child. Okay, it's not just him,
Hmm.
but he was the problem. He fucked them completely. But the decision to have online DRM and all that shit, that's
Uh-huh.
basically where we are now. The problem was the industry and the customer base was not fucking ready for that 10 years ago.
I know.
He fucked them in the most important generation to not be fucked in, which is what's changed Xbox's trajectory ever since, and is what's caused all of the bullshit and all of their desperate changes. I think they made a bunch of the best changes they could. I'm not a fanboy. I'm just saying, in general, I understand how Xbox got where it is, and I understand their overall gamble on streaming, on being multi-platform, on not being a console in the future, or not just being one console. You know, their thought seems to be streaming plus a ton of OEM devices, aka the ROG Ally is the true beta test for what's likely coming down the pipe. Like, none of this I think is wrong, and I think it's probably where Sony has to go to if they want to survive.
Yeah, it's
The problem is that people aren't ready for it yet.
no.
This is an Xbox was a terrible campaign.
You still believe
Yeah.
victory?
And you're right. When that whole situation with Xbox happened, because let's be honest, it happened
Yeah.
with them introducing, oh, it has to be online. Like you said, the industry was not ready for it. People were not ready for
Correct.
it. The internet pipelines, the technology was not ready for it because of the fact that, you know, people were still not living in areas that had, well, let's be honest,
They're still not.
they're still not, but they were still having times that the internet that they were having was not stable at all, and they still is occurring that
God,
way.
I wish I wish I
I
had the article, but there was a thing about I want to say it was an Xbox producer or something. I don't remember. Again, we don't do solid facts here. Go research your own. But from what I remember, there was some dude who was like, this was way back when, but he was like, I can't couldn't believe that people weren't excited for streaming or not understand that everyone doesn't live in fucking LA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you live in a big city, yeah, of course, streaming can be cool. Like, you know, like Google Stadia, of course it was going to fail because you have a very small base. But I'm sure it was those same people who were like, yeah, totally,
Well,
everyone's like me, right? No, dude, the big cities, yeah, there's a lot of people who live in those, but that's not where the majority of people are, right? But the fact that
there were
people
also
go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say there were also, besides the whole streaming issue with Google Stadia, there was also the monetization issues that they had with them, uh, with that console, for lack of a service. There you go. So it was more than just the streaming. Let's be honest, there was, even before the big three started doing streaming, there was other streaming gaming services available.
Yeah, and
I don't
most of
know
them
if you,
sucked because their latency
yeah,
was awful. Which should have been
yeah,
a warning. It's
absolutely.
like, this shit ain't ready yet, dude. This shit ain't
Yeah.
ready.
But they were not, the big three were not the first ones to do it.
No, no.
And
And someone
people
always has
forget
to
that.
try. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't, but I'm a business geek. Google Stadia was just the biggest company the first to take the big gamble from like that kind of massive thing. But I mean, that's Google. Google is happy to like waste $3 billion on some initiative and then, you know, scrap it 2 days later. It's like, nope, didn't hit our projections. It's a wonder Google's still in business. You know, I'm glad. I'd hate us to be completely with only Apple as a choice for phones, but
Oh God.
competition
Don't get
is
me
good.
starting
Is
on.
what is
Don't
what I'm
get me
getting at.
started on Apple.
Competition is good. And soon,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
if AAA keeps doing what they're doing, there will be no competition because there will be no AAA. I mean, there'll still be games. There'll be plenty of AA and and indie developers that do just fine. There'll be tons more Mega Bonks and Schedule 1s. There'll be more Expedition 33s because...
More Phasmophobia. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Because, I mean, financing won't just completely dry up. There's still financing to be had. There's still people investing in games. There's just less desire to invest in AAA level games right now.
Yeah.
I mean, all that money is tied up in AI right now, which is another clusterfuck that's gonna bust here sooner or later. So, and when that happens, they'll go on to the next thing. I don't know, Bitcoin 3.0 or something. I don't fucking know. Tech bros are weird. I'll never fucking understand them. They're like the modern day carpetbaggers. There, I said it.
Oh.
It's a scam. I mean, VR wasn't a scam. It just there was no way it was going to catch on to the populace because it was too fucking expensive. That was the most legit. But Bitcoin, that's still a fucking scam that needs to be regulated at some point. AI is a bubble that's very clearly about to bust, and I would argue, go look up your own research, but the big AI companies are not following genuinely accepted accounting principles, which means their books are fucking wonky. I can't remember which one it was, whether it was Claude or
Fiction.
the ChatGPT guy, but one of the two, their CFO, like a few months ago, and this never came out massively, like it didn't catch wildfire, but they basically said their books wouldn't hold up to public scrutiny or something along those lines. Again, do your own research, go look it up. But that was their CFO, the person who's got to know how bad it is, right? Like their books are cooked. The bubble is going to burst. So if you're investing in AI, good luck. I'm not saying language models are going to disappear completely. I'm just saying that when that failed investment train disappears, the tech bros will come up with something else. There'll be more capacity for investment in games again, among other things. Right? Because people will move their money to something that they consider to be a better investment. I'm not saying games is where it's all going to shift, but... You know. Sorry. Continue.
No, you're fine.
I can rant about this business shit all day long.
I know. You enjoy discussing the business industries in general. So...
Yeah, well, I mean, I follow a lot of, let's say, internet and IT related stuff. Like, I couldn't tell you shit about the agricultural industry unless somehow it ties in to gaming or the internet. Like, I'm honest about my business geek area. I love games, so of course I love watching everything about this shit.
Well, technically, you could potentially say that there is a tie-in between the agricultural industry and the gaming industry or the internet.
And then they're all getting fucked in the current day and age?
Yeah, especially when it comes to AI, just because of the fact of the rise of the need of so many data centers. So it is screwing over the land and screwing over the needs that may be and the resources.
Since you haven't been following this the same way I have, there is good news on that front. So Virginia is the big battlefront for a lot of this. I mean, it's happening everywhere, but they've been in the news a lot more recently and had a lot more success at fighting back against this shit of late. But more high level, like 80-90% of the data center work slated for, I think, this year and next year have all been put on like indefinite hold or outright canceled. Because, I'm going to go back to my previous comment, the AI industry is a bubble and a lot of it is a fucking scam made on fake money or fake accounting principles. And so
Yeah.
the money actually isn't fucking there to actually go forward with a lot of this stuff. And they're getting so much pushback, which they didn't expect. They thought they were going to be able to ram this stuff through. And now because people have started to see what some of these going up in rural area, or not, the going up in like the middle of towns and being completely destroying the local economy, taking all their water.
Yeah.
Like these stories have been coming out and the action is going against it. Like that's also probably scaring off from pushing forward with some of these. So it just depends on like next, year or so how things go. But like
Yeah.
we will see some data centers continue. Like I think that's fairly safe. But as many as they've been pushing forth, no. Which means that also limits the amount of compute they can put forth, right? So I don't know. It's all tied together with a whole bunch of clusterfuck of bullshit, I guess.
It's. Thank you. And I'll be the first to admit I've used AI.
Same.
So that it's not that it doesn't have its uses. It's just as with anything in excess, it's bad.
I mean, it's not stable for the environment for sure. Of course, those people are like, fuck you, I've got mine. They don't care, but it can do some cool shit. But it's being put forth in a fashion that is not sustainable.
I don't think they got my ancestral hacks. Let's see. I did not. Okay, I'm gonna have to run real quick to go to the bathroom after I collect my
We
box.
need to do more than that. You need to go back to town, and we need to put on our AFK screens, bathroom break, and feed the cats. Because it is
yes.
that time.
Okay.
So here I go, putting my little indicator for AFK. Okay. I am back. The cats are appeased. They will not murder me in my sleep now that they've had their lunch. I also have some food here. Once it cools down a little bit, I will snack on that in the background. Just waiting on Zae to finish warming up her food as well. She was nice and sent me forth first to return and say, hey. But hopefully, folks who see this will enjoy our little ramble on things. I always love to get feedback.
That's it for that piece.
I try not to get too serious and not too in the weeds on us versus them type politics style stuff, but we do try to talk about the gaming industry, games, other nerdy things. Like I said, I really want to do a ramble with my buddy Jaden on AI and stuff. I might have to prep a little bit and actually take some notes. Don't forget, we've hinted at this stuff before, but kind of my style here for how when we get into these discussions is I will cite or reference sources when I can remember it as best I can, but I am not a journalist or trying to do a journalistic standard here for these things. Now, if people tell me that they want me to do a research video instead of the usual content, I certainly could do that. But that is not what I've been doing with our videos, right? Our videos have been mostly, gameplay focused, and then us talking about stuff in the front, in the back end. Sometimes we do color commentary. Sometimes we talk about things like we did earlier. That type of stuff. But doesn't mean I can't do other types of content. Just don't expect me to turn into a reaction content channel or a beauty industry channel or anything like that. This is likely going to stay focused around games for the foreseeable future. But anyway, yeah. Well, Zoom super out. I think I mentioned this before. My build is based off of one that Gazzy made and put on Icy Veins. And he's changed it a little bit since he first posted it, but I'm basically just making a straight summoner warlock. That's what I do. I mean, Command Fallen is a summon ability. It's also a Hellfire ability because of one of the upgrades. And that's not even necessarily supposed to be in the Endgame version. I don't have a good answer of what else that I could replace it with. Having it with meat shields so that it summons automatically some lunatics that will go attack things that get really close to me right now is fine. I'm getting to the point with bombardment thanks to other stuff in my build which gives crits gain extra wrath from one of the Paragon boards. I'm able to hold sustain using bombardment as my kind of daily driver attack, and then I've got 2 sigils with cooldowns, the big bada boom, and the Fiend of Abaddon. Being able to put out multiple of them is really awesome. It's also why I don't want to put other demons in the build because of the dominance cost. I want my dominance to always go to the fiends. Agrom is freaking ridiculous now. Because I have let me show you. Got this cool sigil. I have 5 of Horizon's chains, and when you get to 5, whenever it's normal cast ability, like it's passive is he just runs around and kills things, and he summons some mini pit demons every so often. His active ability basically explodes all those mini demons for damage, which I didn't find terribly compelling. I just didn't really use it much. But with the set 5 bonus, they basically whenever I use it, it summons all of the soul shard demons for 10 seconds, which is freaking cool. So like if I get all of these dudes, I'll have 2 of the Agroms and then 1 of everything else, and that's really compelling. So now it's part of my build. I don't know if it blows up the little ones still when it summons. I'm not sure, but the little ones or whatever. Being full up on greater demons between these two is fantastic. I mean, it's going pretty good. I've got plus to all my demonology skills on every single one of these. That took a lot of re-rolling. Technically, I should keep re-rolling Beirut until I get another +3, but we'll see.
Same. I'm back.
Okay, I think we just had someone at the door. I don't know the specifics.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. If you want to take over entertaining for a second while you get
Yes,
situated, I
please,
can
if you
go
don't
check.
mind.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. I have no idea what could be delivered today. But I think I heard Taff talking about his build. I'm just right now, I need to see about, I'm enjoying my build. Don't get me wrong. The previous build dealt with Sundered Might, which it still is, but instead of having it as a weapon, it's going to be converted into a charm. So, because the only reason why this build uses this weapon is because of the fact that it casts an aura skill. When casting an aura skill, it triggers consecration. It's a way of having another aura, um, another ability, excuse me, being triggered automatically by something that you're doing. I played it, not the half season that was in between this season and the previous one. Um, I played it for very tiny bit, but before that, I played um, this build, and it was fantastic. I was doing a lot of damage. But because of the way the changes to having this Horadric cube, you're able to turn an ancestral item, in my case, the Sundered Might axe, and its ability into a charm. So what I'm trying to do is go ahead and make this ability into a charm so then I can do sword and board.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Was there anything in the front?
Nope. Someone definitely walked up to the door, but nothing there.
Yeah, I saw at the camera, and it was somebody dressed in like a one of the yellow jackets. Uh, like they're doing work.
Maybe
So I
the
don't know if maybe it's the people that are coming to fix our internet.
could be. Well, if the stream suddenly dies, that would be why.
Uh,
But
yeah.
we can hold that up. I have not gotten a phone call or anything, so for now, we should just continue.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I am
Fine. You can start the
trying to
next
see
one
where
when
I'm
you're
gonna.
ready.
I know, I'm just trying to see where I'm gonna put this particular. I'm trying to see if I have a node that does damage, straight out damage. Yes, maybe. Yeah, I do have a node that I can pick up that does straight out damage. I'm finding myself a little bit needing of damage.
I'm currently picking up a bunch of survivability nodes so they can survive the BS explosions.
Hmm. Oh, I have one more point left. Sure. I mean, if it is the cable people or the internet people, I should say, coming to fix our pipeline, um, they should call.
Should.
They're not going to.
Yep. But if they're inside, that's good. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, I am eating as well. Hopefully my munching noises does not come through the microphone. Did you want to go ahead and do another run?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
okay.
I also got some an ancestral unique. It wasn't one I needed, but the fact that we got stuff is good. So this level is working. When the
Good.
nose is back, we haven't gotten one by then. Maybe he can help us as well at some point, and maybe we'll be able to do tier 10 at that point. But
Well, I hope so.
I mean, it just depends on the type. We have to do all the grinds. You have to continue working on your gear. So
Yeah, I know. I know. It's
at my point, I just need ancestral versions of whatever I've got, except for my awesome helmet, which I got lucky on. That is ancestrals out the butt. Everything else can use ancestral versions. In fact, I wish there was a way to actually make an item ancestral. That would be great. But should I say
Same.
add ancestral slots to it or something? You know. But
I know.
it just feels like you have to play on basically Torment 9 or 10 to basically have access to it. Well, did you want to run
Well,
another key, or do you want me to?
I can do it. I've gotten some ancestral unique items. So it's not that it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's just that RNG
They just
bullshit.
dialed it back, so you have to be playing at a much higher tier to actually get access to them now.
Yeah. We need to do another escalation too.
Yep.
Not while we're while Nose is at work,
Yeah.
but
The next challenge is Echo of Mephisto on Torment 10. I don't look forward to doing that.
oh gosh. No, me neither.
But we'll have to do it.
I hope it's a
Lilith on
slight
8
different.
was a shit show.
Yeah. I hope the Mephisto fight is slightly different. Just because of the fact we talked about it some. I didn't care for it much.
Where Lilith is a one-shot shit show, Mephisto's at least basic one is all about removing your abilities, which is horseshit.
Pay attention to Soul Spires. That's what I just picked up. They have a chance to drop an Aether of demons killed within it.
Well, now we just need a way to actually make them spawn more.
Yeah. Oh, believe me. I just realized I'm still on my I will be back screen.
Oopsie.
I know, I was really excited to come back and I just killed myself. That's what I get for paying attention to what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. I'm a little distracted today. Ooh, a chaos offering. Hello.
That would be good.
It's showing up this early? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know I've been a little distracted. Have to keep on doing the technical stuff in the background, not only for our remodel of our network, which I need to continue.
You fight to live. Good.
Just a couple of things that need to set in place. I just haven't wanted to deal with it. But also dealing with finishing setting up our streaming things.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll
And
get
it's
there.
something that I know. And it's something that in part I'm not with setting up the whole getting it to the perfection point. I'm not necessarily rushing at it because somebody out there might be find it interesting as seeing a YouTuber coming up and learning things step by step. I mean, I find everything interesting. I'm learning little day by day. So
That's how it goes. Get a little better every time.
I try. Okay, spawn faster. Aether friends. Soul Spires grant 2 Aether. we're doing Aether, even though the Soul Spire showing up that's an Aether event, isn't it?
I don't know. To be honest, I haven't fully studied this event.
Hmm.
I do it vibes based.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Let's see what the wiki says about Aether events.
I think the wiki says pick one.
Really?
I'm giving you shit. It's fine. Do your thing.
Yes, Soul Spires does count as an Aether event as Soul Spires, Masters, or Blisters that spawn through mobs. So, making Aether events spawn faster, which means that Soul Spires would come up faster.
Okay. There's a noticeable difference between 9 and 10, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know how I'm gonna squeeze out that extra for 10, but to be really consistent, but at least I'm getting a little more survivability.
Let's see what we got here. Ooh.
Yeah, the upper one and the right one are the two best to me.
There we go.
She has chosen.
Not
You
wisely.
still believe in victory?
Oh. The only choice is not to play.
Oh god. That's one of the things that, as much as I'm having issues with the corporate greed of the gaming industry. Here we go back again talking about the gaming industry.
What I do.
And that's many industries in general. Let's be honest. I cannot give up gaming. I've been gaming since I was a little kid.
Sure.
And we've talked about this. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, your first one was a Commodore PC.
Yeah, Commodore 64 and the original the original Nintendo. Kind of the first two things I got into.
Hmm. Mine was, as you know, mine was the Atari 2600 that I had at home. After that was, messes have a chance to spawn Soulspire on Death, but the Ruthless Lords. You know what? I'm going that way.
Okay.
Probably a bad choice, but you know. Um, it was the original Nintendo. After that, which one of the games I was originally obsessed with was Duck Hunt. And then after that, my first computer, quote unquote, was the Coleco Atom.
I know of the ColecoVision,
Mm-hmm.
but I was not one that had it. One of my babysitters or something had one.
It was,
I'll say
despite,
babysitters, but you know,
yeah,
it was more of they did, despite being a latchkey kid and whatever, you know.
mm-hmm,
At 10, they didn't necessarily want me home alone all summer.
mm-hmm. For me, it was an interesting choice of a computer. It was a lower budget thing. Um, just because my parents, despite my father being in, I guess, in a form of the finance industry, he was not good with keeping money. Let's be honest.
Hey, neither are
Um,
CEOs, so he was in company.
yeah. So it was an interesting choice as far as a PC to have. It had a tape drive. If I remember correctly, it had a disc drive. It had a cassette drive. And that's how I learned how to code BASIC, specifically QBasic, if I remember correctly. Because that was my primary game at the time, learning how to code.
Yeah, my parents had me go do a couple of different kind of like coding camps at the community
Right.
college over the summer. I swear, I think I've done like I I mean not at this point. I'm sure there's more flavors, but like back then, I swear I must have dabbled with every fucking version of Basic that existed. Apple IIe Basic,
Hmm.
Q Basic, Basic. I'm not a good coder, but I have had a lot of exposure to the
Right.
basics.
Yeah, I think I went from basic, Q basic, and then the next flavor of basic,
This
I had Visual
flesh,
Basic.
tear out its
And then
very
I went
soul.
to C++, C sharp. Well, not necessarily in that order. Because of work, I learned HTML, JavaScript, um, SQL. Do I remember all those right now? No, but I've been trying to reteach myself.
I did do a bunch of bash scripting in my engineer days. And as you know, we've talked about this before. I have written a, a, a script in Perl, but I do not know Perl.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, I took a script that already existed, and through the fine act of Google Foo, I was able to expand it to do many things it didn't originally do.
Right. Well,
Probably
I
not
think
well, but
also, yeah. I think also you do have coding in your background because both your mother and other family members in your family have been in that industry.
yeah.
I think also your father, Bob, don't remember if your father was more of a systems or a network.
I asked him so many times what he did, and my brain refused to commit that memory. But based on what I reading between the lines of what my brain, like context clues, remembers, I'm pretty sure he was doing like Unix administration, system administration for the college.
Mm.
That's my guess.
I haven't done Unix or Linux in a long time. I did love working with Unix and Linux.
I wish Linux was a little less opaque, especially with how shitty Windows is and only gets worse. Maybe Satya Nadella will stop focusing on fucking AI and actually make a usable product as a priority. You know, the core. Just make something fucking good and people will like it. But if they keep at this
Well,
rate,
isn't
someone is gonna
Satya?
eat their lunch, like the Steam OS or something.
Yeah.
Will get good enough for other things besides just games.
I was gonna say, isn't Satya only dealing with Xbox now that Phil is leaving?
Okay, Satya is the CEO of all of Microsoft. Asha Sharma is the new CEO of
Okay.
Xbox specifically.
You see, you pay attention to this business shit
I
more than
do.
I
I'm
do
a
right now.
business geek, and I believe they've basically let Phil and Sarah Bond hold the bag, and basically every bad decision that Satya crammed down their throat in the last few years, he's given her, or given Asha, the ability to countermand. Like, they were supposed to have like a 30% margin, which is fucking unheard of in the game industry for profit. That seems to have gone out the window, which is why they can potentially explore lowering Game Pass
Right.
prices in the short term, while in the long term they turn it into cable 3.0 and basically nickel and dime you for everything, but you have packages, so if you don't want the stupid Fortnite pass, you don't have to buy it.
Yeah.
But you'll pay $5 for this, $10 for that, $5 for this, and eventually you'll just be paying even more than you're paying now before the price decreases again. So it's not good long-term news, but she's been making a lot of decisions that are at least in the right direction, but aren't necessarily all positive for the consumer long-term.
Yeah.
So, but she's getting buzz about Xbox back. I mean, that hasn't been a thing for years. So that's something.
When they did the whole announcement of raising the prices of the Game Pass, and I just said, I'm done. I am done. Because of the fact that I had the Game Pass mostly so I can play with Nose, because he's a console gamer primarily. He's done more PC gaming now because of the fact that I think mostly because of the fact that you and I are PC gamers. Let's be honest. He still uses,
Continue.
come on. Um, sorry.
It's okay.
I know.
You were
You're
talking.
giving
I've
me
done
shit
it too.
But
Game
I said,
Pass was cheap.
yeah.
There's no denying. But the reality is that they going to $30 just like out of the blue.
Yeah.
It was just a ridiculous price hike. That's just, of course, it didn't go over well.
And don't get me wrong, there were times when I was, not feeling well, and my sleeping schedule as it goes, uh, is very chaotic at times.
How about
And
what
it's
sleeping schedule?
okay, fine. I haven't slept well in many years. I did play a lot of Game Pass games. There's some games that I would not have
shall deliver judgment.
discovered if it weren't for the Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also not an idiot. As many people are not idiots. And should not be fleeced.
Come here seeking me.
And I left some aethers back
You will
there
find only your own death.
Yeah,
for their money.
only a selection of the industry or of the customer base cared about Ubisoft classics and the Fortnite thing. I mean, yes, the younger generations like Fortnite. That does not mean that everyone who's paying for it wants fucking Fortnite, the Fortnite Game Pass thing. Like, you said, hey, here, but you get these things. And most people are like, the value proposition ain't there, Chief. I'm sorry. One, it's $30. I ain't paying 30 fucking bucks. And two, I don't want this shit that you're adding in to make it set to say it's worth 30 bucks. Those things are
Yeah.
not of value to me. Which is why them going back to a cable type bundling package, yeah, I can totally see. That's what all subscription services want to do. It came out, they're like, hey, look, $5 and you can see everything on Hulu. And how long did it say $5 for? Everything
It
got
is done.
segmented. So good luck finding your thing. Now you need a dozen different fucking services
Yeah, I
all to
know.
get that one show you're interested in, instead of subscribing to cable and needing, I mean, God's sakes, it was like Sci-Fi and Comedy Central is all I gave a shit about. Whatever package had those two in it, that's what I got in cable back in the day. That was it.
Yeah, I
Did
know.
not give a shit about anything else. But again, if you want to see all this shit, it's gone, which is why so many shows have gone under the radar, and it's probably only rapidly caused Hollywood to deteriorate anymore. But now that they've all got you hooked, supposedly, now they all want to be cable again, which is why cable is back, which is why all the big cable companies are creating offers to, like, you subscribe to us, you get access to these 3 streaming services,
Yay.
because streaming services are cable 2.0. And that's that recurrent money, that sweet cheddar is what Xbox is all about. But also, they were fucking insane. Putting Call of Duty into Game Pass was obviously never going to be the right choice. And then they did it,
No.
and they lost like $300 million or whatever the reports were. I don't remember off the top, but it was a ridiculous amount that they lost out on, because what a surprise. It's on Game Pass and everyone was using Game Pass. Well, the millions upon millions of people that for some reason still play Call of Duty every year, now they didn't have to buy it because they already had Game
Mm-hmm.
Pass, because they were in the ecosystem. So what a shock. I am sure they're going to add another one at some point. Like another tier at some point, which does include Call of Duty. But it's going to be an expensive tier all on its own. You know that when they finally reintroduce it, they're going to get their money from you. For sure.
They're always going to get their money.
Yeah. But still, at least it'll be a choice.
Yeah. I know.
It's something.
I think I'm trying to remember from the times that I was playing Game Pass, because, like I said, not playing it anymore. As you know, well enough. There was one game. Let's be honest, there were a couple games that I discovered that I would have not found if it weren't for Game Pass. One of them was Headlander, which I loved playing it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the other one,
That's the one where you basically swapped out the head on the spaceman and you did different things.
yes. And I'm trying to find the other one And this reminds me, I have to go back to playing Song of Horror. That game creeps me out, so it's gonna be a little bit.
Stream game.
I know, it's just. But I can't find the name of the game right now. I was looking for it. Um, but there were some games that I would have never found if it weren't for the fact of me not being able to sleep. A. B. Having Game Pass because of not being able to sleep and not wanting to. We're going to do another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, probably this should be the last one for now as far as with the streaming. We
That's
can
fine.
keep on doing some more later on, but
No, it's fine.
I think this should be the last one of the stream, calling it. If it weren't for Game Pass, there would be games I would not have discovered. Which is great, because they introduced me to some games that were not mainstream. And I found that I enjoyed. But I'm not going to spend money like that on... There were times that I had Game Pass and I paid for Game Pass
Have you wandered?
that I did not play on Game Pass
That's how
because the
they get you.
games were not interested on me, for me.
That's the challenge of every streaming service, right?
Right.
You don't necessarily always have something you want.
And it's...
And they make it incredibly hard for you to cancel. And if you come back, they screw you out of your good rates. Because the rates only go up. And you can only maintain that good rate
I
if
know.
you stay subscribed.
Yeah, I know how that is, which was a shame that we had to let go of Netflix, but
Well, it's fine. I mean, again,
we had Netflix for how long?
a long ass time.
I think we had Netflix, and I don't even know if they still have those offers, since the point they were still offering CDs or DVDs for home,
Like I said, a long ass
along with
time
streaming.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
You fight Tully?
I know. Stop aging me.
You're the one aging you. I didn't do it. I just said it's been a long time.
I know. Yeah, but at this point, when you make it the package when it comes to Game Pass, so that, okay, you're raising the prices to $30 for what we want, you're making it a choice as to, do I spend money every single month on something I may or may not use, or do I save that money so I can afford the game that I want to play, that I'm sure is gonna be there, and I'm sure I'm interested in?
So specifically talking Xbox and Game Pass stuff. Yes, they had some neat little things that you wouldn't have played otherwise, but at the same time, Xbox has been specializing in incredibly okay games. And by that I mean, they wanted Starfield. Now, mind you, Starfield was in development before they bought Bethesda, so, whatever. I'm just using it as an example. But, they thought that was going to be like, oh my god, a new franchise from the people who made, or made the most recent Fallout games and the Elder Scrolls series. Oh my god, this is going to be a smash hit. It's an incredibly 7 out of 10 game. And that's what they've been churning out. I mean, For the people who love it, Forza's amazing. They made a ton of money by putting that on the PlayStation. But it's also very, it's also niche in a sense, if that makes sense, right? Car people
Right.
really like racing games. Racing game players really like racing games. Other people don't necessarily care. They're putting a lot on the line, hoping that this Fable or not remake, but this new Fable game is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it could be. Or it could be, again, incredibly just okay.
Yeah. And by the way, and you know this, I was a Need for Speed girl.
Yeah, I never played them,
So
but I
You still
knew people did.
believe
Burnout
in
was the
victory?
racing game of my... That was all about blowing your car up. That was fun. Almost a demolition game at that point.
but yeah, and it was not the song that, or the word I was looking for the game. I should say the name of the game that I was looking for. Ooh, there's a goblin thingy. I think we got it.
I never saw
Uh,
it. Maybe.
Other game that uh, Game Pass introduced me to. One of my favorite games, Wonder Song.
I was just thinking, I was like, I wonder if that's the one she's going to say.
Yes. Um, it's still, every time I think about it, it still makes me smile, and it still makes me want to cry.
I mean, again, I'm not mocking Game Pass in general. It's really nice that there have been things. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Expedition 33 was on it from launch. Vampire Crawlers, highly recommend. I did one small video.
Right.
I might make another small video trying to get my last achievement that I did in the because I basically played the hell out of that game in between my first stream and now on the side. That was
Right.
my guilty pleasure while I was editing for a number of days. But their good shit can be on the platform. But I'd also say just being a PC gamer and having access to Steam, yes, discoverability can be a challenge for certain games, but if you pay a little bit of attention to the zeitgeist and you pay attention to the tags, and of course,
Goblin.
you play enough shit on the platform, Steam does a pretty good job of recommending games to you that you might like. And if you do a little bit of due diligence, you can go through, and Steam sales are a real thing. I mean, if you wanted to, you could save your game budget for once a quarter for the big Steam sale, because Lord knows there's at least one big game sale every freaking quarter. And then you could just buy, a few hundred worth of games. It's actually like a few $1,000s worth of games, but the Steam sales are so significant, and then be good for that quarter. The only time it's a challenge is when you have to play games on day one. I know FOMO is a real thing, but as we've been talking about the realities of today's economy,
Oh, yeah.
like, shit, I ain't buying anything for full price right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got a couple of games I really want to. I really would like to request permission to do it as part of my solo shit at some point. Is probably get the remake of what the hell? No, not Armored Core. Front Mission 3. I've talked about this before. It's a game I want to put on the stream at some point, and that's only like $25. But the magic cutoff has been, I've just noticed for like a while, is like if it's less than $20, I'm not too concerned about it. There's plenty of sales. I've had so many good smaller AA or indie games that have been between 10 and $20 that have given me, and some of them have given me, 40, 50 hours, not all. And it's like, why would
Right.
I go back to a AAA game? I mean, I know we're playing one right now.
I know.
Diablo's a little more of a. We didn't. I mean, we played Diablo 3 at launch, dropped it hard quick.
Yeah. Diablo is more of a callback to our love of Diablo
Diablo
1 and
2.
Diablo 2.
Yeah.
We even got the new uh, Diablo 2 remake, which we need to go back to sometime. It's just, it's like we had the love for our first MMO, City of Heroes.
Hmm.
It kind of showing its age.
Yeah. Their graphical upgrade is good enough. It's not like high fidelity, and it doesn't need to be. Back to like
Well,
focusing on realistic graphics and the super high fidelity is just ridiculous. But you know, making it not pixel blobs was also nice.
Well, my biggest issue is not the graphical because the graphical doesn't really matter to me that much. It's my issue is the gameplay. It shows its age.
Yeah. There's a reason
It
why
still
it
has.
influenced so many games, but it's also of
Oh yeah,
its time. Yeah.
yeah. But and yes, since you mentioned it on stream, why I'll mention it. Uh, that you mentioned as far as having permission for Front Mission 3. I do manage the budget in the household. So,
I game responsibly, but it's just as an example. Like, I mean, that's not crazy expensive, but
no.
it's also like I definitely consider this shit these days a lot more, right? Like, it's just indie games are in a price bucket, which is back to like, yeah, you know, that's not. I don't mind paying a couple shekels of that. What's the worst that happens? I skip a couple coffees or something. Not that I'm going out and buying Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts coffee these days, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
And that's again, back to the thing of that's a problem for AAA. And you want to make it $80? Good fucking luck, dude.
By the way,
Yo ho
did
ho.
you see where we are?
Yeah, we're doing great. I got one of the things we got basically gives a shit ton of bonuses for every yeah. For each offering selected, increased by 2 for mass offerings. I've just been going crazy with mass offerings this run.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Seems like it's
I do
working.
like the masses. They just take me a little bit. Well, it's with anything. It takes me a little bit.
It's all good. Okay, if you really want me to fight here, I can. Not a problem.
Dang, blue goblins.
Woo!
Okay.
Okay, one more. What do we got?
Okay.
Here we go. Let's
I
go.
Oh, don't even start with that. We might get copyright stricken because you said something that a
Yes.
character says
Yeah.
of Nintendo's.
Fucking Nintendo. Yeah, because my impersonation was so good. I'm such a grade A character actor.
I know.
You should put me in the next Last of Us.
Oh God, no. I mean, you know, money is always good, but
I never claimed to be a good voice actor. Not even close. Okay.
Shall deliver judgment.
that one, this one,
Yes.
this one.
What we're doing.
Come on, let's hope.
You come here seeking me. You will find only your own death.
Be dead.
You can
I got a 2-star amulet.
destroy
Let's see
me.
if it's any good.
I got a ring of starless skies.
That's a pretty dang good prize.
It's not the price I wanted.
No, but if you keep getting ancestrals, you could save up some runes to basically just buy the thing you want, and hopefully it'll be ancestral.
I don't think my axe is the one that.
Well,
Let me get
okay,
the
you're true.
book.
Your axe is not a mythic. But
Exactly.
if we keep doing this, I assure you, we will
I
get your
know.
axe.
I know. Ring of Star. I think this is my second Ring of Starless Skies.
I've gotten 2 Ring of Starlit Skies and 3 of that fucking one-handed sword.
I think one of the swords, 2 of the Ring of Starless Skies, and 2 of the amulets. I'd have to take a look at my inventory and here, let's see. Yes, 1 grandfather, 2 of the amulets. This is my second Ring of Starless Skies. And like I said, and then the sword, which I don't need. I could use the sword. Let me see. It's a two-handed sword though. I could use the sword for now,
Oh,
but I
what
still
is a
need Sundered
waitress, isn't it?
Might
That's it for
for
that piece.
being able to turn it into a charm, and I need that as ancestral. And then, of course, I've gotten the Tyrael's Might.
Pity to
We
break
will
another's
get
work.
there.
I know, I know.
Okay, well, at least we are at a point where we can pause.
I know. I know. So, Nose just sent me a text message saying, I want a cheeseburger.
No cheeseburger for me today.
Well, thank you so much for playing today once again. I
Jawohl.
appreciate it. And helping me out specifically for this. I think that we need to. I think this is the farthest we've come as far as the tier list
Yeah?
in Diablo 4. I would like to get into 10 and running it. Getting above 10, questionable, but and running it effectively so that it doesn't mean that we don't die or anything, but it means that it's not a pulling teeth challenge.
Sure.
um, but we'll get there soon. Oh, and by the way, when I was doing all the making of equipments,
Mm-hmm.
one of the transfigurations I did,
Mm-hmm.
my pants, which is the one that I absolutely did not mess up. Um, the one piece I did not mess up on. The transfiguration made it indestructible.
So you'll always have pants.
I will always have pants.
Fantastic words to end on. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.